past, my wife and I drove past like a restaurant. It's like, oh, remember we went there? That was good. I was like, yeah, that was, remember when we could just like sit in the house and be like, let's go to a restaurant now. And we would just do it. I was like, we can't do that for 20 years. Because I've apologized to all my friends who do have kids. Like, I'm sorry, man, I should have. And now my friends who don't have kids, they'll like last minute, they'll be like, yeah, I'm going to bail. I'm like, I get one of these a month.
I know.
I've planned it. I put in effort here to let my wife let me do it, and we've got a babysitter.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the show, whether you are watching on YouTube or you're listening on your favorite audio platform. Today we have the very funny comedian Trey Kennedy, who's learning all about fatherhood as he is a new dad. Now, I've been a huge fan of Trey's for a really long time. I had him on my old podcast, which, by the way, is gone. So make sure you've subscribed to this show, the Paula Faris Show. But my husband and I recently had a chance to go see Trey on tour. He has a hilarious tour. It's called the Grow Up Tour. It's where I got this sweatshirt, if you are watching, that says "Do Less, God Bless." But Trey gets really real about what it's like to marry your opposite, about the stage fright that he still feels to this day. And as always, he is answering your viewer questions. So without further ado, here is Trey Kennedy on fatherhood, comedy, and how to find your thing. Trey Kennedy.
Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for having me back. Good to be here.
Oh my gosh. We were just joking before the conversation actually started that I think you and I both had these same plants behind us last time.
Yeah. Oh, you got to have the fake. I don't know what. It's just, is this even like resemble a real plant? Yours is real?
It's real. No, don't tell anybody
Oh,
that.
okay. Yeah, it's just like spike. It was like my hair in like elementary school.
It gives it life. And by the way, the red wall behind you, and for those watching,
Pops.
It really pops.
Thank you.
It pops a lot.
Thank you. It's a weird thing to ask like a painter to be like, would you paint this one wall red?
Just
and
one.
Like, what's happening in this room? You're like, don't worry about it.
It's for me to know and you to find out. Okay, Trey, since we last spoke, hello, breaking news. You have become a dad, which is incredible.
Thank you.
Scary, a little
yeah,
scary,
6 months old. Thank you. It's, yeah, I mean, you can't possibly prepare for it. I way underestimated it and I'm still getting used to it. I mean, it's a lot of fun, but it's wild.
Is he mowing the lawn yet or no?
Not quite.
I mean,
just yesterday, we drove past, my wife and I drove past like a restaurant. I was like, oh, remember we went there? That was good. I was like, yeah, remember when we could just like sit in the house and be like, let's go to a restaurant now. And we would just do it. I was like, we can't do that for 20 years.
The first
you could plan like a month in advance.
You're like, I had so much free time.
I'm still adjusting to it. Yeah. And now it's great because I've apologized to all my friends who do have kids. Like, I'm sorry, man, I should have. And now my friends who don't have kids, they'll like last minute, they'll be like, yeah, I'm going to bail. I'm like, I get one of these a month.
I know.
I've planned it. I put in effort here to let my wife let me do it. And we've got a babysitter.
Yeah.
We've got a babysitter tonight. It's amazing when we're just getting into the babysitter world because especially first time kid, my wife, she's very, it's a little nerve wracking, but so wild night ahead.
First time with the babysitter. Are you guys doing anything fun? You'll probably be back by 8:30. And by the way, I'm going to predict what happens over dinner. You're only going to talk about Thomas. You're your little guy.
We had our first like parents night out a bit ago and like my parents watched. So not like this is our second time, like a full babysitter that's not related to us. My parents watched him and we went out with a few other parents and we all like, let's get out of our system. Everyone bring up their baby cam. Yes. Look how cute. They're sleeping. It was for the first time, I felt like such a parent. I was like, from this point forward, we do not talk about the babies. Stop bringing them up.
God.
So yeah, it's cracked up to be. It's great.
It really is. My husband and I are so excited to come see your show in Greenville, South Carolina in a little bit. And I'm sure you probably woven in some Parenthood to your new comedic routine.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, it's
so funny.
Thanks. I'm excited. The show's been a lot of fun. It's been good to, because a lot of my fan base is obviously parents and a lot of them are new parents like me and or expecting. So yeah, I'm definitely working out some of that experience on stage.
Tell me how, so I know that Parenthood has definitely hampered your nightlife, but how has Parenthood, how has being a dad just completely changed your life, Trey?
besides all the funny, like it's made it so hard and it's constantly trying to figure this and that out, especially as the first time parents. I described it as made life richer in every way. Like my buddies get to hold my son. I get to watch them interact with them. And I witness my parents be grandparents and my wife be a mom. And it adds a new element to all the relationships in your life. For all the hard times and the moments where I'm like, man, how many years till he goes off to school? Cause it's just a lot.
Yeah.
Cause I could use it some time. And it's just, there's those moments and, yeah, it just makes life richer and just humbling too. Because I was a dude who felt like I'm doing this, I'm touring, I'm building a career. Like people have kids, like people are so dramatic. It is the hardest thing I do. It's harder than everything else, and it's one of a kind experience. But very grateful for it.
I was reading not long ago that millennial dads are so much more involved than their dads were. How involved are you? Like, how many diapers have you changed? Because it's just a totally different generation. And I love to see it, by the way.
I know it is. And sometimes when in the moments where I'm really in it and helping, I was like, man, some of this feminism is getting a little annoying, I mean, come on, can't you do it? Now I've got to do it. But we really were a team, and the first few weeks were really special in that, every parent of a newborn knows it's a total blur. It's wild. You're up all night. And we were just like, we had our thing down. I was diaper guy for the first few weeks. She didn't change the diaper for like the first month, basically. Long story short, we had to bottle feed him for the first month. So it was like pump, store, reheat. So it was like this wild thing that we got figured out, and he's feeding like a champ. Yeah, I was very involved. And I'm very lucky to, I got to go on the road and be away for shows, which gets harder every time. But when I'm home, I'm full control of my schedule. I'm learning now that I do need to make more effort to go into the studio and stuff, because you sit at home and I just hanging out with my wife and kid, not getting work done. So balancing all that, but yeah, much more involved. I remember joking. It was, I don't know if it was one of our dads or like uncles or something. They're like, he never changed a single diaper for any of the kids. I know. Like that was very normal. And I was like, your initial reaction is like, wow, that's crazy. But also like, it's good for them. I don't get to do this.
You're like, my wife would kill me.
Yeah. If I came on this podcast right now, it's like, I haven't changed a single diaper. Like I would get canceled immediately. Like this guy's a scumbag. So it is fun to be more involved and really wanting to be, and how that is the new trend. Millennials are expected to share the duties a lot more, which I think is good.
What's the most challenging baby product to figure out? Because putting baby products together, or trying to figure out, how to assemble a crib, or, snapping in the car seat into the stroller, or unpacking a stroller, like nothing makes you feel more incompetent than baby equipment.
Yeah, I'd say the equipment more than the baby has caused rifts in our marriage, where she's like, you didn't strap him in right. I'm like, I've strapped him in correct. It's fine. She's like, the car seat's a little loose. Like, you do it then. It's fine. I mean, the equipment. And we've had, you learn, just like a marriage, like who's doing the laundry, who's mowing the lawn. You figure out. Yep. She's the pack and play packer, because I've had a few too many hissy fits with like, I can't get it in the back. I'm going to break this thing. Oh, the pack and play and I forget the tent,
mobile?
the mobile pack and play, or not the tent, the blackout tent thing. That's literally, you talk about a camping tent, how a nightmare to set up.
Tent.
It's the same thing. I mean,
I know.
I've almost put one of those rods through a sheetrock. I mean, that is brutal.
I don't miss it. By the way, your wife is tiny, Katie, and you had a 9-pound, 6-ounce child. Are you trying to harm her?
Did your research? What? I don't know what's going on. I was like a 10-pound baby. So they say it's like, I don't know why. I'm not that big of a guy now, but it just shows it's like, you can't really know. He was measuring like average weight, I guess, was our expectation. The doctor's like, he's looking right. You're right, 50th percentile. And he came out, and they're kind of like, he looks pretty big. And they weighed him, and the whole room, like, just jaws dropped. It was just like,
What were you like in the delivery room?
she gave me credit, like to think I was calm and collected. Yeah, that's an overwhelming experience. I joke with her too, because, we want to have more than one child, God willing. And I was just like, man, we got to do all that again. Like that is like, I'm complaining. Yeah. It's wild. I mean, it was just me just kind of doing my best to make her feel comfortable as she's like sweet, like you said, small, soft-spoken. Katie, my wife, is like screaming her head off for hours. That's insane.
How do you guys make it work? She's a biomedical engineer, and I'm not saying you're not a brainiac and smart. You're brilliant in your own way. You guys could not be more different, the two of you. Like, how do you make a relationship work when the two of you are kind of opposites?
Yeah, we are opposites in a lot of ways, which, I think it plays well off each other. And, I'm a unique personality, I think. I joke with her all the time. We'll like leave just social settings. It was like, how was I doing too much? She'll have to hold my arm and be like, you're not on stage right now. It's not a performance. My mother is like, you guys would be great friends. She's very, she's very mom vibes, and she really wanted to be you gotta get married, you have kids. And I think she was very concerned, like, who's going to sign up to be with it? Like, it's just a lot. And
especially if they knew you were a 10-pound kid, I'm sure.
Yeah. Would be like, that adds to it.
Forget that. No.
This big all the way. And, she's just so weirdly patient. Like, I'll be like, I'll even know I'm being obnoxious. I was like, you're fine. She's like, yeah, it's whatever. So we balance each other out. I joke too that she makes me so much like more patient and kinder, and I make her like meaner, which she needs. She's the type that like
you gotta toughen her up.
Yeah, someone could like just walk up and slash her tires, and she'd be like, I would you please not do that? She's just so nice. It's crazy to me.
Oh my word!
But we do balance each other out. I think we make each other better.
Oh, that's so awesome. You guys have been married a couple of years now. Now you got your first kid. I want to ask you, Trey, going back into the Wayback Machine, or actually maybe not the Wayback Machine. So you went to school for like finance and business and got a degree in that. But now look at your trajectory, as a comedian and a YouTuber and all of this. What was your big break when you look back at your life? What did that break look like? Was it hard work, hustle? Was it right place, right time? Tell us a little bit about the big break. I
could point to quite a few. You say I went to school for finance business. I mean, that's kind of a stretch. I was that 18-year-old who was like, you expect me to know what I'm about to do for a career? How am I possibly supposed to know that? Which now I'm always doing new things. So I think that makes sense as I discover more about my personality and stuff. But so I just kind of got the degree because it was good to have. I think back to like the very, very first break. I've been so lucky to have so many good opportunities, right place, right time, or good people surrounding me. But I grew up total sports jock, like sports. This theater, going up, run around, acting. That's not what dudes do. That type of upbringing. Southern man.
You gotta be a man's man, right? Mm-hmm.
But still in my free time, I was like, instead of building things or playing with tools, I was like writing funny stories in like a notebook or like drawing comics. So, it was in there and wanting to come out. But I think I got to college and I made friends with some of those more like artistic guys. Like they were more, they liked songwriting and and that was so different than my family or the friends I had in my hometown. Yeah. And they helped encourage me in that regard. And they would catch me singing in the dorm room we were all in, or like and they're like a couple of them with musical talent. They're like, dude, you can sing. And I was like, no, I don't sing. I'm not doing that. Long story short, I got pushed. I had so much stage fright. I got pushed to get on stage and sing for the first time.
What did you say?
And it was a little like on the lawn of a fraternity little Friday night concert, that they do in the college campus. And I sang 3 songs with 2 of my good friends accompanying me. It was Rolling in the Deep, when that was big. Adele, Come On. And then Apologize, One Republic. That was a hit song.
It's too late to apologize. Oh, yeah. That's such a smooth song, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
By the
and
way,
then go ahead.
What was the last one? Go ahead.
Summer Love by Justin Timberlake, which was like a lot. I don't know if you're like, riding in the drop top with my top down on your twisting lane. It was a little much. But the reaction was like, the crowd was like, just so, they're like, oh my gosh, you can sing. And that was, I remember going to bed that night, like, what? I mean, my whole existence, I felt like, I mean, of course I loved it, but it was just a combination of like getting, I guess, discovering this talent, also discovering maybe this whole other side of me. Like, do I like this? I thought I was a sports guy. Am I now like am I a thespian? Tell me.
Theater guy? My
brain went, is my, not my life, but like, is my college experience going to be different than I thought? And that really did spur on an entire desire to create things and to perform and to make videos, which went viral. And here we are.
This is my 9-year-old, by the way.
What's up?
He can't hear. Landon, come here for a second. You can't hear him?
Yeah, I can.
You can hear him right now?
No, I can hear him.
Supersonic hearing. What's up, Landon?
To ask you something. Come over here into the microphone.
Oh, let's see it.
Come on. Stand up. This is my youngest. He is sick today. He looks really sick. So you have to speak into the microphone. This is Landon.
What's up?
Hi, Mr. Trey.
Hi.
What's up, man?
He wants to ask you a question.
Okay, I'm all ears.
What's the best part about being a YouTuber?
Oh, do you want to be a YouTuber?
I want to be a basketball player.
Trey, everyone either wants to be a basketball player or a YouTuber.
You could do both. That's what they're doing. I wanted to be a basketball player. You play ball. What position you play?
He's 9.
I don't know, point guard.
Yeah, point guard. Hey, what you more of a, what do you shoot? You shoot the threes. You drive in. Yeah, you'd like to drive in there. I'd like that.
Yeah, he's a basketball coach.
Best. Oh, that's fun. My dad coached all my teams. That's the best. I can't wait to coach my kids' teams. The best part of being a YouTuber is the best part is what I thought was, I was just goofing off, making people laugh in real life, and now I get to do it for a living. So I feel very lucky. Some YouTubers make all sorts of content, but I make the comedic content. So I feel very blessed. I can, even if it's just a few people, I can make them laugh or smile. And that's the rewarding part for me.
Say thank you.
Thank you.
And now you can
Thank you, man.
Now you can go be sick in the other room because he looks terribly sick, doesn't he? He's home sick from school. Well,
they're nice.
That was for dramatic effect, right?
I like that. Just make sure we know.
Like, Mom, I want you to, because I've got a couple of viewer questions at the end for you. We'll ask too. Thank you, honey. I love you, Landon.
See you, dude.
Okay, so this big break was kind of like realizing in college that, oh my gosh, I have this talent and I'm good at it and I kind of come alive on the stage. So what does that do at that moment? Because you're still going to school for finance, right? By the way, I just can't, brain doesn't compute you in finance and business.
Oh, I mean, I couldn't hardly tell you anything about finance right now. So it doesn't really matter.
So you're not the family's financial advisor, is what you're
saying. No. It's nice to have a basic understanding of all that stuff, but it's definitely not my strength when I look back on it. I don't know if that was the right major for me, but like with any person who discovers like a talent like that, of course your initial is like unrealistic and people are stopping you. Like if you try it for American Idol, you could win. Like you're going to be a superstar. And you start being like, oh, am I the next John Legend? I think so. So then there's like this roller coaster of, as I enjoyed it and kind of pursued it just locally, we'd have successes and have some like reality checks of, we'd put out like an original song on iTunes and we're like, man, this might hit the charts. And it's like 75 downloads. You're like, okay, well, that was good.
Your mom was 30 of them.
Exactly. Yeah. Her and her BSF group bought half of them.
Bible study friends.
So there's a lot of learning in that. And then I went viral online, which just adds to it. Because then you get, anyone who's had any kind of success like that, as you have too, you get an email with some guys like, yeah, man, I mean, my cousin used to be the assistant to the guitar player for Rolling Stones. So like I could pretty much get you a record deal. And you're like, I believe you. And stuff like that happens where you learn real quick that a lot of it's talk and nothing happens till it happens. But nonetheless, it was exciting and definitely what I found myself really passionate about and focusing on. Schoolwork was an afterthought. I was just hooked on trying to both create musical content, but then I discovered the comedic content started to work a little better because I was a lot of singing musical content early on that was going viral. And then I felt myself relating more and feeling like more of my natural passion and instinct was more comedic. So started running with that more. And by the end of college, I was kind of like applying for jobs and looking at, do I pursue this? So
and now like comedy's your lane, but you've woven in all of those other aspects, especially music, which is hilarious, by the way. It gives you such an edge. When did the comedic thing, like what was the break there? You said you got a job after college, which I can't imagine lasted very long. Like, are you like a 9 to 5, right?
I had one internship experience, 9 to 5. And I'll never forget, like, day one, getting the tour of the place. And it was, I believe in 9 to 5s. I think people should do them. And like, I get cringe so much when people are like, I'm just not meant for a desk job, because most of those people like just don't want a job at all. Mm-hmm. But when I looked at the cubicle and they're like, you're going to sit there all day. And I felt my skin crawl. I was like, there's just no way I could sit. Like even today, I'm never sitting, like, I just energetic guy. And I need to be doing something different than sitting there like on a spreadsheet, me personally. Mm-hmm. And so that I did that one summer, and that was a good learning experience of like, man, I gotta do something else. And applied for jobs for more of like a marketing creative role. Cause I was like, okay, which was hard to do with a finance degree. And I was trying to show people like, I figured out how to get millions of views on social media. I can help you with this thing called social media. And it was 10 years ago. People were behind the times. They're like, we don't care about Vine or Twitter. Yeah. And I couldn't get a job. And so I got kind of mad. I was like, forget this. I'm just going to make videos. So I got an apartment and made videos on my phone all day. And thank God it worked out.
Yeah. And your parents are like, we paid for that education. And you're sitting in your apartment making videos.
Exactly.
Like, trust me, it's going to work out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my word. Was there like one particular video, and you said, you had a Vine, you had some that went viral. Was there one that just kind of like set you on your way?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I missed your question with all that. The comedy kind of came out with, because I was always a funny guy, but I was shy. I had stage fright. And so music I got pushed into. So now I was comfortable singing. So I'd kind of start singing or posting that. And it took me a while to get comfortable. Like, I wanted to see if I can make people laugh. And I finally worked up the courage to post some more just funny bits that I thought only my friends would see. And I got a 10 or 20,000 followers from musical videos. And then a comedic video, which was, remember the wop? Let me see. Wop. When all that was big, it was like me whopping. I was like making cleaning fun or something. I was just like cleaning the kitchen counter while I whopped. I don't know. Very, very 2013. It got like 50 million views. I mean, something. Crazy. And I woke up to a 200,000 followers like that. That was what I mean by, I would throw in the singing stuff, which kind of worked, but those more comedic, creative bits is what skyrocketed me to millions of followers and kind of made me think, okay, I think maybe I'm better at this.
How did you so you loved it, but you were still scared of it. Like you said, you still had stage fright. And that's the weird thing to kind of like reconcile is like, I can love something and be good at it, but it still kind of scares me. How'd you get past that?
I mean, I'm still not fully past it. I mean, you do it enough where,
are you scared, Trey?
I'm scared. So scared. Yes. Everyone close your eyes. It still happens sometimes, but it definitely gets better. And there's a lot of shows where I'm not nervous at all. I go out there and have fun, but it's still in me. And I don't know what kind of crazy things happen in my brain where like I'm terrified of it, but also want to do it, or I don't want to do it, but I feel like I need to. And I think that ultimately helps me too, of like, I'm so fearful of it and so uncomfortable with it. It makes me prepare a lot, and it makes me really want to up the quality so I can feel more comfortable. And
yep.
So that drives you and it helps you. But there's times where, especially early on, I don't know how I was doing it or what was driving me, but I was truly my worst fear. And it was some of the scariest moments of my life, but did it. You pushed through that fear. And I think like they say, do it scared, but if you're not, especially in the performance fields, if you're not a little bit nervous, like I think there's something wrong with you, because you should feel the nerves and then you channel that. So Trey, what kind of advice? Because, I think of you as wisdom, sage advice, all of that. What kind of advice do you give to somebody who's looking for their big break, who's looking for that moment, looking to take that next step? Like I was just talking about, I don't know what it was in me, but I'm so glad even though I was terrified, I didn't want to do it. I did it. So I think I'm here because time and time again, I've just risked it and got out of my comfort zone. And that's really the only advice I have. I don't know. I think I've gotten very lucky and gotten fortunate. The right people, right places, right time. But that only happened because even when everything in me was screaming, don't do it, I was like, I got to do it. So
I've got to. But you took the step. That's the great advice. You're a risk taker. You had to go for it. And you didn't want to live with that regret of not going for it. And I say, what's the best thing that can happen if you go for it? Okay. Are you ready for some viewer questions?
Absolutely.
Okay. And we'll keep these tight, real tight. Okay. Like kind of lightning round.
Okay.
This one.
Hello. She's that nice way of being like, just come on, answer them quick.
Just go quick. Okay.
Yeah.
This
Gotcha.
is the journalist in me. I'm like,
I love
boom,
it.
boom, boom. Chrissy D wants to know, are you ever serious?
Yes. I think if you've heard a lot of my interviews and stuff, I allude to being shy or stage fright. So I'm a normal person. People meet me very quickly in person. They're like, you're just kind of different. I'm like, I'm just talking to you normally. You want me to be like, how's it going? So I do tend to be very goofy and funny and a lot of humor, but I can be and do enjoy real, honest, truthful, like not funny conversations. Yes, I can be serious.
That we can talk about, right?
Yep.
Like just let's talk about it.
Love
Trey. Joel says one thing to tell your younger self. What would it be?
Oh man, just you never know. Just I think I had a lot of pressure to figure it out, or like you're going to be this, you're going to be that. Now I'm very okay with people say, what's your plan here? I'm like, every couple of years something happens that surprises me because I just try new things and take risks, and some fail, some work. So
season by season, chapter by chapter.
You don't have to have it figured out. That's what I say. You
don't. Jennifer asks, and this is the last viewer question, says, what is your why behind your work? Why do you do what you do?
I think the ultimate why is my faith. I'm a Christian, and I was raised very lucky to have great parents, and I was raised to work hard and, do your best, have fun. The class, do your best and have fun. But it's simple, it's good. And what pushes me to work hard is because I believe I've been given great opportunities and positions and advantages and talents. So I don't want to just like do that to make myself comfortable and retire in a few years. I think I'm called to bust my butt and to work hard to provide for my family first, and then to provide value to as many people as I can if I have the opportunity to.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I'm very lucky to get to do that.
Okay, so what are you working on? Last question. Like, where can people reach out to you, contact you, stay in touch with you, figure out what's going on?
Yeah. Trey Kennedy's the name. TreyKennedy.com's got all the info. We're touring. We still have a lot of tour dates left all through the year. We're going to announce some more. The Grow Up Comedy Tour. So first and foremost, come see me in the city, and then follow me. I'm on every social media. Trey Kennedy. You'll find me.
I love it. My husband and I can't wait to come see you, Trey. And
yeah, same. We love Greenville.
We love it. We love some Greenville. Thanks for coming on the show, Trey. Big fan, and you're a good dad. You're a good dad.
I'm trying. He's alive. We're good.
Got to lower the expectations.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks, Trey. If you have a free night, go see Trey Kennedy on his Grow Up tour. My husband and I had the best time. Grab a partner, grab your spouse, grab your friends. Check out his website to see where he is and when he is. But I promise you, your stomach will just hurt from laughing. It was a great night for my husband and I. And you can check out those dates on his website. And keep those reviews coming. Keep spreading the word. I can't do this without you. Again, we are building this show from the ground up. So if you can rate it, if you can review it, if you can subscribe to it, if you can share it with your friends, that is just awesome. And I'm so grateful to all of you. So next week, talking to a fan favorite of yours, Jesse Palmer. He's the host of The Bachelor. He's also a college football analyst, and he's about to become a dad for the very first time. I hope you check it out. That's next week on The Paula Faris Show.